How long we got? Another 11 cycles until we've got infinite copper once again. Pinky Puppet, thank you very much for the prime sub, mate. Third month. Second best month. Not only did you sub for 1 month and then decide to continue the sub, which we've already ascertained is the best month, you decided to do it again. Now, at this point, I don't know. I mean, it might be cause for alarm, actually, that you're still here. But I'm glad you are, at the very least. And Boss Cog, thank you very much for the subscription there, mate. Diolch yn fawr. Which, by the way, is Welsh for thank you, for those of you who have been wondering recently. And as it happens, Alex was asking me about Welsh in his stream. Yes, it is my first language. Right, let me pop this down there, and this one over there. There we go. And for those in Italic's stream who, you know, it's just a thing. It is the thing. If anyone has even a passing knowledge about Wales, they know about that name. So let's just get that one out of the way. Yes, I can say it, and yes, I will say it before you have to ask. There you go. It can be out of your system now. Sorted. You don't have to ask again. Reality Veil. Read my mind! Say it again to prove it wasn't a fluke. Haha! That's clever. You're using logic against me. I approve. I approve of that play. Well done. Okay. Wow, okay. Apparently was a fluke. Never mind. Never mind. I take it all back. No. There you go. I trolled myself. God damn it, tongue. My own body is being a traitor against me. Not quite as much of a traitor as Lancelot is, but yeah, you know, it's in the same sort of, it's the same shade, just a different color. All colors have a traitor shade. Thank you very much, Anonymous Gifter there. Diolch yn fawr. The ghosts are out in force today. And Wolfisker, thank you very much as well. Sorry, I almost missed that. But yes, we are currently in a... I mean, see, if you only raided me like a little bit ago, when things were going well and I had power and there was air and there was power and there was food and everyone was happy and no one was stressed. No one is stressed still because despite the fact there's no power, there is still air and food. And my duplicants are simple folk with simple needs. They just need something to breathe and something to eat. And if they've got those two things, they're generally okay. Also, they don't like being too hot, so they've got a nice temperature-controlled house. So, really, life is still very good for this little colony of 12, but it could be better. And, yeah, earlier it was. But of course, you weren't here earlier, and so now you're going to doubt it, which pains me greatly, to be perfectly honest. I don't like it. Chat, what do you think? Should we go ahead and wait until I've got all of the temp shift plates in here? That honestly, that is literally just bling at this point. It's just bragging rights. Doesn't really help me. I mean, I could. I've got a remarkable amount of actual copper ore. I could just smelt the copper. It's kind of a... grieves me the idea of having to lower myself to the level of smelting my copper ore, my 62 tons of copper ore, when I've got a copper volcano that is going to just leak liquid copper and make me power when it does it. It feels like I'm taking a step backwards. However, I kind of want the copper though. I really do. Well, the ghosts are very much out in force tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. Really appreciate the support. Aavak, a friend of mine, has said something very specific about the Welsh language and popcorn. Would you please confirm or refute the claims? No, I'm not. I'm not going to get into this because the next question is, what's a microwave in Welsh? And it just keeps going, and then it's what's a jellyfish in Welsh? And no, no. Let's not go down that path yet. It's a dark, dark path. It's where the dark side lives. And I do realize that I just keyed some of you into going and finding out what the Welsh is for those words. I stress, you should resist. Be the best people you can be. Okay, well, the industrial brick is doing okay. We no longer have enough heat to run the steam engines, which does kind of suck, but which also means that we have to listen to the aqua tuners turning on for a second and then remembering, oh wait, I haven't got any power. Maybe I should stop. And then turning back off over and over and over again, slowly melting my brain. However, we do have availability of coal. We actually have an enormous availability of coal down here. I could get enough of this to kickstart the coal generators. Probably should, actually. Let's go ahead and do that then. Whop. Since I'm down here doing it anyway, I may as well get the rest of this done. Just kind of putting this off for good reasons, because I'm certain someone's going to get trapped on a non-existent ladder and then complain, but we'll see. Thank you very much for the hype train, everyone. That was really, really kind of you. Thank you so much for all of that support. Now I want you to speak in Welsh. I didn't know I had this need. It's still in the VOD, but I support the Welsh and I look forward to hearing it when I catch. Hey, Bowtie Biffa, how you doing, mate? Thank you, Belial. Let's get the myth out of the way. Pop-de-ping is not the Welsh term for microwave oven. Sorry, yeah. I don't know where that started. We don't call it a pop-de-ping. I don't know. I suspect that maybe... And this is a sincere suspicion of mine. I think some enterprising Welsh lad, when a bunch of people from England came over to go to a pub, sat there and made up a bunch of stories so that they were so charmed by this idea that they just kept buying him drinks. And then when one of the boys saw it work for one of them, they just started doing it all the time. And they just had free drinks from English tourists. For days and days, but then they never really thought forward to how big this might become. I'm fairly positive something like that happened. Oh no, if you've heard Russell Howard talking about how the Welsh call a microwave a pop-de-ping, I'm fairly certain he believes that. As many people in England do. It's microdon. Blue Sharky, have I solved the power yet? Well, sort of. On and off. It's on and off solved, yes. You really do like the thought of them being called pop-de-ping. I mean, yeah, well, that... Exactly, see? You probably like that thought so much that you'd believe it because you want to believe it, not because your brain is saying, yeah, no, this sounds like an actual fact. And it might be enough. You might want to believe it that bad that it endeared you just to some random lad and you just started buying him drinks. I suspect this is what happened. What are you up to? No, you're actually going good. But yes, unfortunately, we are in a bit of a bit of downtime, forced downtime at the moment while we wait for a couple of things to kick back in. We'll take the water. Thank you very much. Let's have a look over here. We've got 20 cycles until that kicks back in. That's not terrible, I suppose, actually, all things considered. But yeah, let's go and set up a bunch of copper to be smelted, if we can. I'm gonna say stop doing the gold amalgam. Drop that out, and instead set up 50. Yeah, make 5 tons of. No, not forever. 5 tons of copper for me, please. That should be done fairly quickly. Temperature up here is awful, but you know that's to be expected. So really, we are just waiting on some more power. In the meantime, though, we can use this to strip out a lot of other odds and sods that are dotted around. Thankfully, our food is not reliant on power. Neither is, well, no, our oxygen is not reliant on power either because that's self-contained. It powers itself. Because damn physics. Let's get that taken out of the way. The heating is actually no longer reliant on... You know what? We don't strictly need power for a comfortable life in this colony anymore. And that has only just dawned on me. It has been so long that whenever there was a power problem, it was like, all hands on deck, we're about to die. And now, no. Strictly speaking, we don't need power anymore. This is a strange place to be. I'm not sure how I should feel about this, chat. I'm going to give my peeps a bunch of little jobs to do to keep them busy. Bilal, stop giving away my secrets. Uh-oh. 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 That's always a bad move. Well, Rafiki. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Good morning, Aavak and chat. What a pleasant surprise. Hello. Welcome to... You again, Snowfoot? We kind of need to follow Snowfoot because I'm a little bit concerned that they're going to run out of air. We'll pee on the floor, that is what we do now, but okay. Why did you start back out? Did you just go there to... Oh, no, okay. I accept, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Her suit was full of wee, so she literally went back to base to take the suit off and then put a different one on. And in the doing of, emptied all the wee out of her old suit. Yeah, yeah, no, that's fair. I would have done exactly the same. I wouldn't have just been like, I'm just going to go back to take my suit off and put a new one back on. No, that makes sense. However, it does look like we are getting rid of some of the regolith. Hooray! The system is working. As intended, look at that, chat. Engineering at its finest. Do I have enough copper? I do not yet have enough copper. I'm going to continue waiting. I'm still convinced England raided Wales for vowels until they ran out. Well, see, that makes sense until you realise, A, Welsh has... Actually, is it the same number or what? How many vowels does England have? Regardless, this is where my knowledge of English fails me. There are different vowels in Welsh. Y and W, for example, are vowels in the Welsh language. But also, the Welsh has more letters than English does. If we were raided for letters by England, they did a poor job because they lost some to us. We came out of that engagement particularly well. Yeah, well, actually, I could kick this in at 140 if I really had to. Well, you know what? Let's do it. Just to get us through the next couple of cycles until this kicks back in. There's only 6. I'm sorry, I don't even know why I laughed. I don't even find that funny. I don't even find that funny. Oh my goodness. It was a reflexive laugh. It was a defensive one, okay? I was defending myself from someone else making the joke. Yeah, we've got a lot of double letters in Welsh. English has none. English only has single letters. They haven't unlocked the tech to use double letters yet. That's why they all make weird faces when they try to pronounce the letter sh. They look like a cat sneezing. Right, what temperature is this? Actually not terrible, especially down here where the tungsten has actually been placed in. Okay, all of the pipes that needed to have the tungsten there have had the tungsten there, which is good. Excuse me, the letter what? Shh. English would write it as double L. What about ch? I thought that was a double letter in English. No, that's C and H. It's just they do allow for certain sounds when those two letters are next to each other. You've got the soft ch, like chutney. And then the hard ch, like loch. But in Welsh, it's only ever hard. It's only ever a ch sound. But it is a single letter in the Welsh alphabet. You've also, I mean, you know, by the same logic, you know, English could have double Fs, but they also sometimes have single Fs. But they're not ready yet to make the commitment to the double letter life. So they kind of just, we've just got F, and sometimes we put two of them together in sequence, and it makes a different sound. But we have two letters. One is is written with a single F, and one is written with two Fs. We don't have a V, because we don't need it. Single F is a V, and a double F is a F. Hello, Angelfall, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good morning. But yeah, the reason why this part isn't cooling anything down is because there's nothing there to interface with. You've got to have a transfer medium. Because whilst in two-dimensional, viewing this as just a plane, everything is touching. But you've got to imagine that this is three-dimensional. And that pipe sits behind where the conveyor rail is. And there's no gas between them because it's a vacuum. So there's no way for the temperatures to interact. But when I place a tile in that space, so a window tile or a metal tile, think of it not like there's now a tile in front of the conveyor rail with a bit of a space, and then a bit of a space, and then a pipe behind it. Think of it now as though that window tile is now a meter squared, and the pipe and the conveyor rail are running through that tile. And so there's now something connecting them, so temperature can move around. Welsh is far more consistent and phonetic. English speakers just assume all letters in other languages should match theirs. For no reason at all. Why, you know, God in our own image and all that kind of stuff. It's easier for someone to assume that what they know is normal. But yeah, Welsh is a phonetic language, so you say it as it's spelt. No silent letters or shenanigans like that. And yeah, it makes for a much easier time, I'm going to be honest. There we go, let's get those going. I am going to wait on the copper, though. I really would... Yeah, we're putting all this work into that system. Why would I not wait? I think we really do have to. But we have now drained all of the power out of this system. We've got a couple of spots where people can use systems to generate a wee bit of power just to keep things going. For example, our suit lock. Our Atmo suit dock. They'll run on the hamster wheel in order to charge that up. Because they won't be allowed out unless they can use the suit, and without power they might not be able to. Coal? I mean... Sure, I'll take some lava wax. Wouldn't mind a couple of extra slicksters. Let's get this swept, though, because the slicksters on the far side can't breathe. They need that sweet CO2 to be able to live. Canty. I could not stop laughing when a Welsh friend visited me in Phoenix, Arizona, and read Mexican words like CHOLLAS. Yeah, I can imagine how I would say it if I had no other influence, but now I know that how I would say it is hilariously wrong, so I'm not going to try. You trolled yourself with that one, I'm afraid. I could... Sure. Let's branch all the way across. I mean, while we're in these moments of downtime, it's actually fairly easy for us to just get a bunch of other stuff done. It's a reasonably good time for that. There we go. And let's pick a spot and go straight down through it. Ultimately, though, we want to find out what that is down there. Because if that is another natural gas geyser, then we are... Well, I'm not going to say saved, but we're certainly better off than we are right now. Because when the natural gas stops flowing, that is when we really start to hurt. This place has melted quite well. I approve. That was a carbon dioxide geyser, not exactly what we need. There we go. Now that isn't able to chill stuff down enough anymore, but technically speaking, and all of the liquid moving through here, because the average in here is 20. But as it moves through here, through the hydrogen with these tungsten pipes, through the hydrogen in this room, which is being cooled by the wheezeworts, then it's dropping that temperature. It's also picking up a little bit here and there, but... There you go. I imagine we're very soon going to see all of this regolith dropping off. I mean, it's dumping a lot of heat into the tiles here, which is then being picked up by the polluted water moving through here. It's a reasonably good system, even when it's passive. I've got to be honest, I'm somewhat impressed by it. If I do say so myself, you know, I wouldn't call myself a genius, but if someone else did, I'd agree with them. To be polite, you know. Oh, geez, talking about a pending disaster. Oh, yeah, I've just doomed us completely. Completely doomed us. We are 100% dead. And to just go along with that genius statement, the energy drink the Casa brought me earlier, yeah, I opened her up and, you know, I kind of bent the pull tab down. Then I didn't fold it back, and then I tried to drink from it and I almost covered myself in Red Bull. So, yeah. 100% pure blood genius. There we go. Now, with so much of this material removed, see, I don't want to set up any extra spaces for any of the animals around here, because I don't know when I'm next going to be in a position to handle them, basically. But I do want to set up a proper Slickster Ranch. Like, it would be fantastically useful for us to have a proper Slickster Ranch set up. And if I build it vertically, then I can store more Slicksters in the same space. But realistically, I guess I don't need that space to be especially heavily farmed. What is my biggest CO2 producer? Probably up here, honestly. There's 5 kilos of CO2 in there. And once my coal generators move up there, then it's going to get even worse. Okay, I'm going to make an executive decision. We're going to shut down the delivery of petroleum to the generators. I know. That doesn't make sense because I'm hurting for power, not the opposite. But we're shutting that down right now. We're even going to delete the piping for it. And the reason that I'm making this mad move is because we are going to completely rejig the position of the generators. These 2 rooms, steam turbine, which has no off-gassing, hydrogen generators, no off-gassing. Then I'm going to have a sealed floor and a separate floor. It'll be probably 3 tall to accommodate 2 tall cavity. A single pump, all I need. Getting rid of 3 pumps, condensing it to 1. All that'll be there for is to gather up the waste water. Above that, petroleum generators. Above that, we will have natural gas generators. Above that, finally, we will have coal generators. And in that room, we will have a pump set to remove CO2 once the pressure in the room is too high. I'm going to say anything over 2 kilos of pressure, get rid of it. We will then pipe that, or rather pump that, to a slickster farm. We are going to start properly ranching slicksters. Aavak, slickster ranch around the carbon dioxide volcano. Ha, noob mistake. The carbon dioxide volcano is a cold volcano. It is pumping out CO2 at -50. The slicksters that consume that CO2 are going to become increasingly more likely to give birth to long-haired slicksters. Long-haired slicksters, while beautiful and snuggly and literally possibly one of the cutest animals in the world, according to dupes, who find it incredibly happy to have one around, breathe oxygen and don't produce oil. I would turn my functional, super useful slicksters into extremely pretty but oxygen-hungry slicksters that don't do me any good. Already thought about it. But thank you for the suggestion, though, because that could easily have been a dumb move, and I'm like, no, why did I put it all the way up there? Now I have to, I got this beautiful CO2 down here, but no. Yes, long hairs are strictly worse than shine bugs, with one exception. They're great in bedrooms because they don't shine. They don't wake people up. I can imagine a long-haired slickster is actually quite sweet. It's just kind of moving around. It's like a dog with no legs that hovers. It's a hovercraft dog. Big shaggy fur. Maybe sometimes climbs up onto the bed. Maybe sometimes sits on your face and suffocates you. Yeah, like I said, dog with no legs. That's actually true, yeah. The Abyssalite nymph, one of the shine bug variants, is actually okay in bedrooms. Oh, yes. Because the Abyssalite nymph absorbs light. It does not produce it. So it's actually better for bedrooms.